How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to TableTakes. We have so much exciting news for you today, and we even have our very first follow-up interview with our very own Lila Ross coming up later on the stream today. So stick around to see how Gauntlet went this year. But before we can get into all of that stuff, I want to check in with all of my lovely hosts today. Um, First things first, event registration. It's up and running. Did anybody get any of the events they were looking forward to?
Yep.
Yeah? Like what?
I, I I'm in my own events.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's how you do it. You go to your own
That's
events.
how
and
you
then
do it. That's how you beat the system. You
Uh-huh.
create your own events, and then you're there.
I currently have two tabs open, and I'm constantly refreshing them, waiting for somebody to drop out of them. I have the MCDM RPG play sessions, which only 60 people are going to get to play this year. And then of course we'll have to wait till it actually comes out. And then I also have just the word Ravensburger typed into the search bar, and I'm just refreshing, waiting for them to put the Larcana events up there so I can be one of the first people, because they're gonna have over 70 events, but they're gonna go super fast. So I'm doing my best there. Okay, well, other than that though, what have you guys been up to? Peter, tell us what your week was like.
I just gotta say, first of all, Javion, you're a geek.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Very true.
you're like a real geek. Okay,
Yeah.
I want to say that.
I
Okay,
absolutely agree.
so,
No lies
yeah, so,
detected.
yeah. Actually, Bonsai, don't laugh. You are a geek too. I mean, you. Noir, everybody, we're all anyway. I've been geeking out. That's what I've been doing. Working on our D&D stream that we're doing on Saturdays, which is a lot of fun. And getting ready this week. We're gonna have another one tomorrow. I got Zeb Cook and Alex Kammer and John Peters is coming back. It's gonna be crazy. So I'll give you the longer version of that during the outro. But yeah, working on that. And my wife's gone for the weekend, so you know it's cold pizza and long nights watching horror movies for me this weekend.
Well, that sounds like very deserved me time, Peter. So you enjoy that. Okay, well, Noir, how about you? How has your week been?
my week has been pretty chill. I was a little sick, so I was working from home most of the weekend, or most of the week. But exciting news: a project that I've been working on with a couple of friends, was just announced today, so I can announce it.
Ooh,
Star Trek Second Edition is coming out for TTRPG, and Modifius was kind enough to give to let us get our grubby little hands on it so we can start putting together a show. And we have. It is called The Last Excelsior because we are on the last Excelsior class ship before it's being decommissioned, and the name of our ship is the USS Pride, and I'm very excited about it.
that sounds awesome. I can't wait for you to tell us how it went,
That's what.
especially when
Yeah.
you get some information about like the second edition. I really want to hear how that goes. Peter, what are you gonna say?
No. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think you're talking about events at Gen Con earlier. I think I'm just gonna enter an event called Play Star Trek Next Generation, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna list Anita as the DM.
Yeah.
And it'll be the three of us, and we'll just and a couple other players just to make it legit, right?
I do
And
think
then
second edition is coming out at Gen Con. I'm not even like, I think that's
Oh,
seriously what's
it's gonna
going
be
on.
so
Yeah,
good.
I think that's what we should do. I think we should just create an event. Then we would get in it. We would all get in it because we would have created it.
I mean,
Awesome.
also,
Modifius, give us books.
All right, Bonsai, what have you been up to this week?
not much, but I do want to say one thing, and I hope you're prepared because happy
No.
birthday
Hey,
to you.
you.
Happy
birthday
Birthday
to
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 you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
Davion.
Happy
Happy
birthday to you.
birthday to you.
and many more.
Thank you, everyone. And thank you all, Twitch chat, for enduring all of that.
Wow, our
We're
numbers
very
just
musically
spiked.
inclined, okay? How dare you?
Uh,
Okay, now if you would like to actually answer the question, Bonsai.
You can find that on Apple Music later
Got
today.
it.
Oh!
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, I've been very much relaxing. I've been getting into a lot of what I call cotton candy books, which is a lot of RPG literature. And I've been kind of powerhousing through there, mostly about like if you guys are familiar with RPG lit, it's like isekai mixed with RPG or just RPG like related text about like life as an NPC kind of thing. So I've been kind of perusing through that. Re-listening to the book series of Wandering In, which if you guys know are a part of the fandom, it's a lot of books. They're up to book 11, and I'm essentially listening to them because the newest book is coming out soon. So I'm excited about that. But what about you, birthday boy? What have you planned?
Well, a lot actually. So on Wednesday, I got to see my favorite band in the entire world live, Two Door Cinema Club. It's the best concert I've ever been to. And I've not been to a lot of concerts, so I'll say that. I got a bunch of gifts. I got the sequel to Challengers, Beach Cup. So I can finally play that now. I got a lot of turtle-based stuff. People somehow picked up on the fact that I really like turtles. I'm making a board game that's based on turtles too, so that's helpful. I've also got this turtle tattoo that I need to put on my neck now, so I'll have a turtle neck tattoo, so that'll be fun. But yeah, that's what I've been up to. I'm very much looking forward to some other fun stuff that we've got going on today as well. So why don't we jump right into today's top stories? We've got a lot of headlines. We're gonna get started with some free stuff. It's Free RPG Day. That's right. We got a sneak preview at all the stuff that's coming out for Free RPG Day, which is set for June 22nd this year. So you have a whole month to plan. Get your party ready. Let them know that you're going to be running some cool RPGs this year. So now the article here is from Scott Thorne of ICV2. So we thank you for this. And from what we know so far, it looks like there are about 24 books, 24 free RPGs, and all of them, well, actually, most of them are full size, meaning they're pretty large size. Let me get the exact dimensions here. It looks like 8.5 by 11 booklets instead of the tiny little zines that we might be used to seeing. And there are a lot of really cool things on here. I encourage you to go check it out because there's a lot of free stuff from Marvel Multiverse to Dragonbane and even some returning Avatar Legends stuff. But something that I saw here, I was not expecting to, is one-shot wonders. I really love being able to play one-shots, and this was a book I was really interested in getting. It looks like there's a little teaser in here. If you want to play some one-shots, instead of getting one free RPG, you get a bunch of them to play in your campaigns with your players. So I'm seeing a lot of really cool stuff here, and not just RPGs to play, but also some very ancillary items as well. There are a lot of little accessories that are coming with the kit that they're sending out to all of these different hobby shops. So it looks like you get a coupon from Roll20, some Drizzt dice from Sirius, a Lost Tome of Monsters pin from Foam Brain Games, a dice bag, and a dice tray with the free RPG Day logo with my favorite color, red, on it from BCW, some Story Engine decks from Story Engine, adventure decks from Nord Games, miniatures from WizKids, and a very nice ring boxed D20 from Dispel Dice. I don't think I've seen a lot of like accessory items given away on Free RPG Day. Maybe a couple here and there, but man, this is a lot of cool stuff. I don't know how they're going to decide who gets what at the shop, so this is really cool. So yeah, you guys definitely take a look at this. Check your local shop on June 22nd. Make sure that they're giving some stuff because there's a lot of sales as well as just the free stuff as well. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and roll into our next article here? Noir, why don't you take it away?
Oh, I can't wait. We've got a holiday coming up here in the States. Memorial Day, which is about, making sure that we honor those in the service. And also, it's about good old fashioned barbecues. And you know what you need at a good old fashioned barbecue? Well, you gonna need yourself a drink. And boy, have I got the thing for you. We got the deck of mini drinks. That's right. The fine people over at Dungeon Meister have they've created a deck that allows RPG fans to add a little mixology to their tabletop experience. The deck of mini drinks by Jeff Aldrich and John Taylor includes 50 RPG inspired cocktails each, which is paired with the 5e compatible in-game effect. Players can tempt fate by drawing a card at random to reveal their libation of the session and then reference the included booklet for the cocktail's recipe. Now, I'm not going to tell you about this and not give you a couple examples, right? That would just be mean. So let's take a look at some of what we've got going on here. Like the giant bee. The giant bee says you immediately gain a flight speed of 25 and a flyby trait, allowing you to not provoke attacks of opportunity when leaving enemy's reach. You also gain a stinger that grants you the attack below. And this effect lasts for 1d4 minutes or until the stinger is used. The stinger is a melee attack weapon, +4 to hit, reach of 5 feet. You can only hit one creature with it, and it does 1d8 +4 points of piercing damage, and target must succeed or be poisoned. How about one more? One more? Okay, one more. We've got Healing Surge. This drink can be consumed as a bonus action. Regain 1d8 +1 hit point. It's just fun stuff, and then you can actually make the drink that your character is drinking in the game. It's good. It's good time all the way around. Give your character a bonus and also get lit for the holidays. You can find this on Amazon Prime for $16.99. Get it. Tell us what you think when you got it. But you might want to wait until the hangover's over before you tell us what you think. But what about you guys? What do you think about this?
I really like that D&D is now taking this approach of a lot of time, like including recipe books, including all these kind of fantasy foods in the real realm. But it kind of like conflicting for me because I don't know if you ever had the experience of there's certain gaming tables that are what they call quote unquote beer and pretzel games. And then some people who do not have a beer are like no drinks, no nothing is allowed at the gaming table versus a beer and pretzel game. So it's kind of interesting that we have this kind of dynamic going on, that it's becoming more and more acceptable to be like, hey, we are playing 8 hours. We should feed the people.
I would never begrudge somebody having a dry table. If alcohol ate your way to party, that's cool. You can make mock versions of these drinks. But if you're saying like a table that doesn't allow food,
no
and
snacks, no drinks. Yeah, no snacks or drinks. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not
I
like,
know,
sobriety.
Yeah, I know it's good to be neutral, but I'm judging you. If you don't let me snack at the table, I'm not gonna be at your table. I didn't get this shape by missing out on my snack time. Round is the shape, and I work real hard to acquire it.
You know what pairs really well with drinks when you're at the table for D&D is a good dice cup. Maybe you could mix the two together, right? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of synergy possible there.
This is my dice cup right here. Still tastes like paint.
Well, thank you so much for bringing that article for us. I'm very much looking forward to seeing all the tales of how you made a bunch of different drinks at your table and didn't actually play any D&D.
I know, right?
Let's roll into our next headline here. We got some exciting news about Talisman. Go ahead, Peter.
That's right. This article is brought to us by Alex Mihana Dicebreaker. Spend another 5 hours moving 3 spaces in the new Talisman board game from the studio behind Betrayal House on the Hill. That's right. Another new edition of Talisman, the classic adventure board game, is coming from Avalon Hill, the publisher of Betrayal at House on the Hill. Okay, I gotta have a moment here. Okay. So describing Avalon Hill as the publisher behind Betrayal House on the Hill. Now, first of all, okay, Betrayal House on the Hill, great game. I love Mike Selling. I like the guys that worked on it. It's a fun game. But Avalon Hill's so much more than that to us old grognards. There was a time, let me take you back to the beginnings of the tabletop game industry. There was only one company, Avalon Hill, and they made war games, tabletop war games. I mean, that was it. That was our industry. And they produced this line of war games like Tactics 2, Gettysburg, D-Day, Third Reich, Panzer Blitz, Advanced Squad Leader. I mean, games that are classic. Also, some games that were not necessarily war games, like Civilization, the original board game version of Civilization. And so I don't know. I just like, I have a little, whoever's writing all of this about Avalon Hill being, yes, they did publish Betrayal House on the Hill, but that doesn't speak to the whole scope of what Avalon Hill was. Okay, sorry, I've lost you, haven't I? Everybody's like, okay, back to normal, Peter. Ragnar moment, over. Okay. Originally released in 1983, Talisman is a board game wherein 2 to 6 players compete to acquire the Crown of Command, which is held directly at the center of the board. The original edition of the title was published by Games Workshop and designed by Robert Harris. In the game, players choose from a selection of characters inspired by classic fantasy role-playing game archetypes before traveling through each ring of the board to reach the middle. Talisman 5th edition, officially known as Talisman The Magical Quest board game, 5th edition, continues the same basic idea of players competing for the iconic Crown of Command. Players will be able to choose from 12 different playable characters, including a thief, a monk, a warrior, a ghoul, and a sorceress. This new edition will feature 100 different adventure cards for players to encounter during their journey through the land of Talisman, all of which include illustrations, with the entire board game containing brand new artwork and updated components. The gameplay for 5th edition has been streamlined to make it more accessible to less experienced players or players with like less time on their hands, more time on their hands, whatever. With more details about its gameplay available, no more details available beyond that. Talisman, the Magic Quest board game 5th edition is set to be released in August 1st for a retail price of $60.
I like to note that, like, it's funny that this came around because I remember, like, a few weeks ago we had a discussion of what games you would like to see reprinted and brought back, and somebody in chat was like, hey, Talisman, bring it back because I don't want to spend over like $200 to buy it. And the answers were in the cards. So hey,
There it is.
remember those other games that we mentioned, Universe? Can you please give us some of those games as well? That's all I was gonna say.
Yeah. There we go.
I remember for a while there, Betrayal was hard to get your hands on as well until they started reprinting it again. But I want to try out Talisman. I've never played it, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Alrighty. Well, thank you, Peter, and thank you to Alex Meehan for this article. Now it's time to get a little freaky. That's right. This is an article from Matt Jervis of Dicebreaker, but it's a Kickstarter for a game called Freak War. This is a game I am very passionate about, and I'll tell you why. It has an excellent and a very, very unique story of how it was created. Its creator, Nate Galbraith, aka cartoonist Sketch Nate, who was inspired after watching kids trying to have Pokemon battles using Uno cards and then suggesting that they play war instead, actually made a game that mixes all of these things together with a little bit of exploding kittens. And it's a trading card game. Wow. Okay, so this is a lot of stuff, and it all manages to have a very low rules complexity as well. So the basic idea is you've got all of these different creatures, all these different freaks. Perhaps it'll be a cute looking snail or a really buff penguin. I don't know. There's a lot of different kinds. What you do is, on this Kickstarter, you can back it and grab yourself a starter deck and maybe even some booster packs. Creating your deck and, well, curating it to your specific style is part of the fun, but the real fun comes when you play the game. It doesn't get any simpler than playing I Declare War, where you just flip over the top card of your deck and your opponent does the same, and then you see who has the higher number. But wait, the cards are different because they've got different abilities on them as well. So it's a very interesting take on I Declare War, and maybe even games like Pokemon, where you have all of these different collectible characters that you're trying to collect and stuff like that. You've got rares, you've got legendaries, you've got foils and holographic cards. The only thing I will say about this that I was a little maybe disappointed by is the price point. Because of the card's collectible nature, you can really spend a lot of money on this. You could just go in for $20 for a starter deck. If you want the boosters, you might have to, pay a little bit extra, maybe about $10 per. If you want any of the really cool collector's packs, though, you're going to have to shell out a lot of cash. You can even get one of your own custom cards made. This is a really cool game. I can't wait to play it. I'm definitely backing it. And you've got a lot of time left. So this is sort of like a crowdfunder court before the crowdfunder court. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited about a potential newcomer to the trading card game genre, which really isn't one. It's more of just like a collectible game, which I think is much better than trying to compete with any of the big, huge conglomerates creating trading card games these days. Yeah, so you guys should definitely take a look at this. They've already met their goal, and you've got until June 13th to decide to collect the funds and save up to grab yourself some collector's editions if you'd like.
Yeah, I will say about this game looks super cute. And I can see why you're gravitating towards it because of the art styles. But I think in behind the scenes you mentioned that like you can still, like if you win, you take the other person's card. And Peter, you had something to say about that, right?
Yeah, well, a little known fact about Magic the Gathering, when it first came out, very beginning, the original rules Richard designed was that at the beginning of each game, both players would draw a random card from their respective decks, and they would set them aside as ante, and whoever wins the game would permanently keep both cards.
Whoa!
Yeah, crazy. The original community that played Magic, I mean, everybody just universally hated this rule for good reason, because especially, the cards were very hard to get and some of them were valuable, blah, blah, blah.
No kidding.
Yeah. So, so we got rid of that rule really fast. It only lasted a few months. So we did a reprint. It was out of there.
Well, I don't know if this game has the same permanence of collection, but you do win the game like in War, where you've taken all of your opponent's cards, but I think you still give them back. So hopefully that's the case.
When I'm playing, you give them back. I tell you what.
Oh, okay. Well, good. I'm glad somebody's listening to reason. All right, let's go ahead and get into our next headline here. Man, we've got some really good ones today. So Bonsai, why don't you tell us about this spicy news that you've got for us?
All righty, folks. Well, let me go ahead and just let you in that the NFT card game community has a very infamous card game has been brought to folks' attention. Thank you to Daniel Lawrenston at Tabletop Gaming News for bringing this to attention. But NFT card game community has basically been harassing Board Game Geek's co-creator, creator and owner, Aldi. So let me go ahead and add some context to this tale. Wonders of the First is becoming increasingly infamous after first brigading, basically flooding Board Game Geek with views, and now basically distributing the private phone number of Aldi, Board Game Geek's co-owner and co-founder, among its community to harass this person. For those unfamiliar with the game, Wonders of the First is a collectible card game that came from a group that's pretty deep into the NFT roots, and with not a lot of notable game designers, except for most notably Brian Tinsman. The game was originally launched on Kickstarter April 30th, but due to, of course, Kickstarter's rules about NFT, it was brought down and then put back up after a lot of those NFTs were removed. So this is just PowerPoints that have been brought to folks' attention that I'm reporting. CCG from the team. No one has ever, or like basically heard of a company with a lot of like that hasn't been demoing their game and hasn't been really inlaid to the board game community, raising over $1 million in under 12 hours. The game seems to have super predatory price structure, high prices as 150 for the starter decks. And it appears to like that whole like running from 150 for the beginning decks all the way to an $8,000 pledge at the highest tier. A lot of the also noted that people do not like it is that it uses AI art in all of its artwork, but they designed it in a way so with the card is signed by the card designer, making it look and appear as if the AI art was actually created by somebody and trying to pass it off as something that was created by a person, like, you know, over time. The Kickstarter eventually removed the campaign after it raised $1.4 million, citing that NFTs were against their rules. The campaign then, like I said before, was quickly relaunched, minus the NFTs, and then almost immediately raised about $900,000 again. So, and the most notable, a lot of the NFT sets like meme coins, Wonder at first seems to be like super active on Discord to boost the game. This result has kind of resulted in the community spamming positive reviews in various different places. This unfortunately, because of such a fanatic community, it has reached the worst point last week on their where the creators on their Discord encouraged its community not only to post positive reviews on Board Game Geek, but also bot reviews and spam a lot in there, and along with the harassment of Aldi on their personal phone number. So a lot of not good things. There's no reason for you to get somebody's personal number and harass them. In my opinion, it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, that's messed up. Nothing about this sounds good to me. It's very, very skeezy. I'm wondering what they're actually going to be able to do about all of this, or what steps they've actually taken.
Yeah. So we'll have to see as time was out whether or not this campaign is still going to be up for people to put into because of all the controversy that surrounds it. So we'll have to just wait and see.
Sure sounds scammy, you know.
Yeah, the whole NFT thing just makes me uncomfortable. AI art makes me uncomfortable. I'm glad it's starting to be flagged more these days, but
Yeah, whenever we get news like this, I'm always hesitant to get too involved with it myself. I tend to just, sit back and like watch when this kind of stuff happens. But hopefully, as we progress, like as more and more people get involved with, supporting the community, we find more ways that we can actually chip in and like help with stuff like this, or like anti-harassment measures that other people can take, and not just leaving it up to the companies themselves to like fend for themselves against people who are doing this kind of thing. All right. Well, that was exciting. That was interesting. But we've got something else we need to take care of today before we can move on to our very special interview. We've got Crowdfunder Court.
Welcome to Crowdfunder Court. Here come the judges. Prepare to be judged. All right, court is now in session.
Hello, folks. I hope you're excited about seeing my face because I got a backer kit for you for this crowdfunder. You guys like werewolf? Well, I got werewolf in the dark. So it's werewolf meets hide and go, hide and go seek with a brand new twist. So Werewolf Dark is really about taking away a little bit of that like social, political arguing in the beginning and shortening it down to a minute, and where you then release the werewolves or whatever creature is assigned to hunt people in the dark. So this game is what it says. You hunt people in the dark, kind of like Manhunt if you ever played it. It's a high-level game. The game is similar. The real game, it comes to night phase. Instead of werewolves and monsters merely opening their eyes and pointing at a designated target, you release them in a large, dark space to tap people. And when the players tap, by double tapping them, they're killed and then have to be in a fetal position. Not only are the werewolves released, but also players can end the dark cycle by finding dead bodies on the ground and being like, I found a body. So it's a little mix of Among Us with that. So eliminating players, of course, if you're like, oh, I don't want to be eliminated early and then do nothing. The cool thing about it is they also have rules for those who are dead. You come back as ghosts during the nighttime phase, but you're only allowed like a very, very, very small amount of light to either block the werewolves from killing more people or helping your team member being like, don't go there, without revealing who the werewolf is. You're being like, I know there's danger, don't go. So like a little, what is it? Hairs on the back of your mind. But if this game sounds fun to you, go ahead and check it out in the link below, Werewolf in the Dark.
So cool. I love when we mix like playing things in real life outside of the table with things that we can do on the table too. So awesome article, awesome Kickstarter. All right, Peter, why don't you take us in the next one?
Okay, I would like to present for the court Rebirth. Rebirth is currently being funded on Kickstarter and has raised $149,000 and has 18 days left to go. Following a series of calamities that left civilization in shambles, societies around the world are being rebuilt anew in harmony with nature. Scotland lies in ruins, and the ancient clans have taken it upon themselves to restore the land. As clan leaders, you will compete for strategic control of the land by rebuilding its prestigious castles. Rebirth is a new tile-laying game from Reiner Knizia. The game revitalizes this classic genre by combining Knizia's elegant mechanics with Mighty Board's evocative world building. The result is a Euro game with smooth gameplay set in a lush and hopeful future. Each turn, players draw a tile from their supply and place it strategically on the board. These tiles represent your clan's contribution to rebuilding the land. Rebirth rewards strategic foresight and clever tactical play, with tougher decisions emerging over the course of the game. Pieces include towers, lots of tiles, and stackable cathedral pieces. Rebirth also comes with an alternate map, this one in Ireland, with new mechanics for this map like personal missions and round towers. All the 3D components in Rebirth are made out of rewood, an ecological material made from waste products from wood production, which allows for moldable 3D components without the use of plastics, and will be manufactured in Europe for EU customers to reduce CO2 emissions from transportation.
Man, honestly, I think Breath of the Wild has just like spoiled me, because every time I see a game cover like this with just like the bright blues and the lush greens and just like, big things that you want to go and visit, I get really sold on the game a little bit too quickly. I gotta like take a breather, take a pause.
The long tradition in our hobby, art really helps sell the game.
Theme matters, very important. Thank you, Peter. That was so super, super cool. Okay, now let's jump right into our next Kickstarter here. So this one is a favorite of mine. This one's called Village Pillage. It's a game that came out many eons ago, years ago, but now it's getting its big box edition and a new expansion as well. So what's really cool about this game is that it's a very cutthroat game, but it's actually pretty simple to play. It's got a very rock, paper, scissors style to its mechanics. Basically, you've got cards in your hand. You can choose 2 of them. One goes to the player to your left, one goes to the player to your right, and they play one as well. And then you flip them all over, and you see in your rock, paper, scissors battle, did you play the right moves? But it's not just rock, paper, and scissors. It's like strike with a weapon, or cast a magic spell, or erect a tower, or go to the market, and stuff like that. And based off of what your opponents do, maybe they steal something from you. Maybe you block them. Maybe you get to go to the market and everybody's like really nice to each other. It's really fun. Object of the game is to get these turnip relics because it's very like village focused theme. I really love it. Now the big box lets you contain all of the expansions, and there are quite a few, so that you can actually, take all of this stuff with you the next time you want to play a game of it with all your friends. Plus, they've also added in a new expansion called Pumpkins and Dark Arts, or Dark Arts and Crafts, rather. It's an expansion that adds in pumpkins that you could collect, steal from other players, and even use to cast spells and stuff like that. The mechanics are really what sell this game for me, and knowing that there are expansions out there, I had to back it. So you can also do that. You've got 21 days left. They've already hit their goal, so definitely see if you can help bump some of those stretch goals up so we can get some good stuff. Definitely check this out on Kickstarter using that link in Twitch chat there. Okay, cool. And last but not least, we've got one last crowdfunder with Noir.
Yeah, Jamie, you're talking about like, hey, if people want to go to a tavern, like in your game. But my question is, what if they start asking questions about that tavern? Like, who runs the shop? Who is there anything on sale? Don't you just hate it? Yeah, don't you just hate it when your players catch you off guard? I do, and that's why I'm bringing to you today Worlds at a Glance, 5 e-tools to describe towns, shops, and NPCs. World at a Glance allows you to create thousands of unique shops, locations, along with food, items, NPCs, weapons, side quests, rumors, and many other things your players might discover there. Mix and match description elements using their flow read mechanic for over 30 locations and have everything you need ready in seconds. From taverns to brothels to night markets and potion shops, everything your town or village needs is instantly accessible and customizable in World at a Glance. I love GM tools like this because it makes my life easy and because my players like to see me flustered, and I got to make them earn it. So having something like this in the belt, can't recommend it enough. They had a goal of $10,806. They've crushed it at $210,519 with 2,123 backers and 6 days to go. It funded in 15 minutes, and a lot of the tiers are sold out. So if this sounds like something that you'd want in your GM bat belt, jump on it now before there's nothing left to jump on. But that is my submission to the court.
Incredible. I love anything that I can actually use while I'm playing the game, because I'm not the kind of DM that spends hours and hours before I actually start the game. Maybe I can do that once in a blue moon, but then I get burnt out super fast. So yeah, having a tool at the table already got my attention. Absolutely. Unfortunately, I have some bad news for everyone.
Oh no, what?
It's a hung jury. Nobody could decide. We're all conflicted. Everybody's crowdfunders are too good.
This is a kangaroo court.
Well done, everyone. Thank you so much. So with that, our crowdfunder court adjourns, and we will move right along into interview worthy. So we have a very special follow-up interview here with Lila Ross, who just ran the Gauntlet 2024. We spoke to her last week. Everything was very, very exciting. We didn't know what was going to happen. Now we've got tons of questions about how it went. So let's go ahead and bring them on in just a bit here.
Doing, friend?
Good. We're good. How are you?
Hi.
Welcome back, Lila. Welcome back. We're so excited to have you back.
Thank
with
you,
us.
friends. Do I look haggard? Because I feel haggard, but delightfully haggard.
No, you look perfectly
actually
refreshed to me. I don't
glowing.
know what
It's
you're talking
glowing.
about.
Yeah, glowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happens after a successful campaign. So yeah, I'm really tired on the inside, but I'm feeling glowing on the outside.
I'm still giggling from Javion describing you as having just ran the gauntlet. I mean, like, wait, like,
Yep. Yes, indeed. It's been 10 years of running the gauntlet, and these legs are tired. No.
Well, I think we need to start with an explanation of what the gauntlet is, because there's probably somebody on chat that might not know.
Yeah, so the gauntlet is our annual board game charity tournament. Yes, that's right. Not a golf tournament, a board game charity tournament that encompasses generally between 15 and 20 teams. This year we had 15 teams of 4. The folks that are invited to the event are gamers, our game community, but also game industry companies if they want to send a team of 4 forth to play. And it is an all-day gauntlet of games. So yeah, very exciting. And it was our 10th annual one that we just did, and we had some incredible teams that were they've been there for many years, and then we had a handful of new teams as well.
I immediately have a question that I want to ask you.
Okay.
I know that people got bonus cred for coming in cosplay. Did we see any cool costumes this year? Can you tell us what your favorite was?
Yes, it was such a good year for cosplay. I knew it would be. We chose Into the Deep. Actually, here's one of the stickers that we gave out. This is our custom logo, Into the Deep. Do you see that beautiful diving bell? Somebody showed up in a real diving bell.
Yes.
It was incredible.
Not a costume one, like a real one?
Yes, it was heavy metal.
I was gonna say
glass in the front, and his face was magnified. He couldn't see where he was going. It was all for the power up, and it was worth it.
I hope they put him on Jenga. That would be a great game to put him on.
Oh, yes. Yeah, exactly. Well, and then there were jellyfish everywhere. There was an angler. Somebody wore an anglerfish hat. So it's like the mouth was like this, and then the lighted thing was coming out. It was so cool. And our photographer had a really good time taking photos.
I would have come in my turtle costume. I have a big pillow that is also like a turtle. I hope that counts as deep. I know that
Of
deep
course.
water amphibians or anything, but yeah.
Yeah. No, let your imagination fly. Yeah.
Actually, turtles are freshwater. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
No, they were sea turtles.
It depends on the species.
It's tortoises that you're thinking of. Sorry, but
is there anywhere one might be able to buy one of those stickers, by the way?
Well, if you had, actually, we are giving away 8, or we already gave them away. Marcus helped me to do lots of giveaways on the day.
Hey.
So we had 8 swag bags that went out, 1 per hour.
If it's over, Noir, you had to be there, man.
Yeah.
This Chicago thing is killing me.
I know. If you want to slip me your address, I might be able to send you. I kind of know where to get a sticker, but look at these. This also came, this was from a different event, but look at these custom pins.
That's enamel too. I'm sorry.
And we also had custom patches.
I'm a pin junkie.
So those came in the swag bags. So for our 8 winners that won those, they got that as well.
yeah, even just to mention, just to segue in here, somebody in chat is also saying that they won a $100 gift certificate at Penny Arcade and a Gen Con pass.
They won both of those? Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we had some beautiful sponsorship this year. Penny Arcade gave a handful of $100 gift cards to their gift shop. And Gen Con, honestly, you outdid yourselves. You gave 10 passes this year for our 10th anniversary. So it was very exciting.
I'm very happy customers.
Yeah.
I guess like
sorry, go ahead, Bonsai.
Oh no, I was just gonna be like, since it was of course the 10-year anniversary, do you have a special moment that you're like, this is the crowning on the cake, this is the most memorable moment for you in this Like, I mean, not to put you on the spot, but to push you on
In the
spot.
last 10 years or for this event?
For this event, just this event.
Okay, for this event, actually, it's really more the feeling that I had because I got a little choked up. It was the first time that we'd had such a full room of people since before COVID. So I'm kind of a 3D person. I prefer being in a physical space with people. I love the energy in a room. And see, I'm getting choked up right now. It was just so cool to remember what it's like to be in a room full of people that have the same, you know, ideas and visions and beliefs, and so that was just super special. I loved it. I'm
Aw.
known for crying very easily, and I held it together this time. But I also think too that, oh, Marcus, yeah, it was wonderful. And I think the other thing too is that it takes a lot of effort to get people into a room, and so when they show up, it's like I just felt a lot of gratitude that everybody was you know, doing their part to be a part of this event.
I'm sure everybody involved was grateful that they even got to be a part of such a cool event. I'm wondering, what were some of the games that were played, and were there any like close calls, or was there any like heated battles?
Yes. Yeah, actually, Marcus could probably Marcus got to see even better than I did the like real deep gameplay because he was, you know, running the stream, and we had a feature table, so there was the ability to look and just see how the games were played. But yeah, so we always have 4 games in the gauntlet. We have what we call our lighter game, but it's not necessarily light in gameplay. It's light in the time. So the time slot is 60 minutes. So we need a good game that is competitive enough that it satisfies those that are competitive, is easy to score, and is not too spiky. We don't love games that also take things away from others because it's a charity event. So we're very thoughtful about the games that we choose. So the first game we had this year was Aqua. That was on theme. New game, beautiful game. And that has a lot of tiles and a lot of points that can be had. And so yeah, and as Noir was saying earlier, the way that this tournament works is the more money you raise leading up to the tournament, the more advantages you earn in the tournament. So those are cheats. Those are power-ups is what we call those. And so there were some fun power-ups in that first game. The second one is a trivia round. We had an incredible trivia host this year, Matthew Moore. He had a whole section of shanties that were like popular songs, but turned into shanties. It's real cool, real cool. And then our third round was Abyss. And that's a hard game to get. I didn't realize that when we picked it. We ended up having to purchase all of them. And then the last round is a custom finale that's designed a new finale every year. So yeah, it was very exciting.
One of the things you mentioned in our previous interviews that you kind of learned that you've learned from each time you've done this. I'm kind of curious, was there any lessons that you've picked up from this particular go around in the gauntlet?
Yes, I did actually. This year we tried something new, which we loved, and we're going to do it again. So I don't think I was allowed to reveal this the last time I saw you because it's a secret, but we added a new component to the event, which is a meta game that runs
Ooh.
concurrently with the main tournament. So that the points that you earn in each round leading up to the finale, those are turned in for tickets. And those tickets are turned in for pieces that you can build out your map. So it's kind of an area control metagame that happens in parallel. And it was so great because it wasn't as straightforward. You know, if your team wins round 1, then you have a better, you know, it's so much more deep. And so it kept people thinking, and we revealed it the moment they stepped in for registration. So they're pretty excited about that.
Can you say anything about the numbers?
The numbers of how much we raised, is that what you would like to know? Yeah. It was a fundraiser. It is a fundraiser. Again, this makes me emotional too. Our goal was 75,000. At the we had about 9,000 to go before we hit the day of our event. We got to 99,000 that day. And then we had an extra amazing option to be the chosen beneficiary of a Bungie bounty. Yeah, so Destiny 2 players were they were able to drop in and randomly be selected to play with Bungie staff. And for every kill that the Bungie team did, or for every win, we got $3. So after 4 hours, there was another $8,888 that we got. So our grand total is $112,808.
That's incredible.
Isn't that insane? Yeah.
Congratulations.
Way to go, community. That's
I
what
know.
it is.
It's incredible.
And who are the beneficiaries of
the beneficiary? So Gamers Engaged is the beneficiary. Moving forward, the whole point of this particular year of the Gauntlet was to announce that we are creating the Play It Forward Fund, which is our granting program. So we had no idea how much money we'd actually raise. So we didn't want to commit to a certain amount that we would be doing, but we more than funded what we needed. And so I'm really excited because we'll be giving out low barrier grants, which means we're going to not create a whole bunch of barriers for nonprofits to apply. We want to make it easy for them to be able to receive some money to do their missions. So it's very exciting. Like my dreams are coming true.
So
I'm so happy to hear that.
It was funny. So Lila, the day before the Gauntlet, I did a D&D event, and it was the largest event that I've personally organized on Gen Con TV. And so I was very excited. Of course, then the next day, you blew it away. So
we did.
Yeah,
no
way to
way.
go. Yeah, that's okay. It was fun. For one day, I was like, I had a record number for one day.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, 50 years of D&D, that's something to celebrate. So
It was fun.
But you know what I love about that? That means that gamers giving is even bigger than celebrating just the game. So that's pretty amazing.
It also sounds like you guys got to have a rematch and we got to do this all again.
I mean, I'm down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually gonna ask Lila, what happens with your team now? Do you guys take like a long vacation and try to like rest after having run this whole thing, or are you already like looking at what to do next year?
So it's all of the above. So I do already know our theme for next year. So I'm already thinking about ways that we can engage much earlier with publishers and distributors to procure the games ahead of time. Games are expensive if you need 16 copies of something. So so that's one thing. I'm going to start early. We're going to decide our games early. But yeah, so we start planning the day after for the Gauntlet for next year. But and the really exciting thing is that Gamers Engage will be hosting a teen internship this summer. So I'll be gearing up for that. And it's a really cool collaboration that we have with the Washington Neurodiversity Project. They are a foundation that works specifically with youth on the neurodiversity spectrum, autism, ADHD, dyslexia, and we are working with them to help build some great workforce skills to perhaps help these folks move into the games industry. So it's a neat thing. And I think I mentioned to you the last time we talked, my background from 25 plus years ago was starting in youth employment and development. So, full circle. It's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Lila. I want to check and see if any of our hosts have any other questions.
I just one real quick.
Okay, no.
Sure.
You teased the scoop. Is there even like a little hint at what the next theme that you're thinking of is?
Gosh.
Just a little hint
Hmm.
as a treat.
I'm trying to think of how I could reveal something. No, I'm not. I can't be quick.
Just play it safe.
No.
I
Don't be
respect
tricked.
that. I
Don't be
respect
tricked
that.
by this Chicagoan.
We're tricky.
I think Yeah, nope. I gotta keep my mouth shut.
I respect that. I
Because
respect
there
that.
are some really cool games that I already know are in this theme. So I don't want to give it away too early because then people will start practicing. And that's way too much time to practice.
Okay, so just practice all of the board games you own. Just, just cover all the bases, and I'm sure you'll be fine. Thank you so much, Lila, for
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
once again. We are so happy to hear that things went so well beyond
Congratulations.
well. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you
And,
to
yeah.
our gamers too. That you're the reason why we were a success. So thank you to all the viewers and to all the people that donated and especially to Gen Con TV for hosting our event. You are the reason why we were able to connect with so many people. So thank you for shedding a light on our work. I appreciate it.
You can't hear it, but Marcus is saying you're welcome. So there you go.
Okay.
Lila, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you'll stick around for just a little bit longer
Sure.
while we sign off. And I'm going to send that over to Peter.
Got it. All right, everybody. This concludes another massively excellent episode of Table Takes. But don't go far because in just a couple hours, we have Sarah's Table. Sarah brings her partner, Jeff Moore, on a session 0 of his brand new RPG, The Vanishing Lands, which I've played, and it's really cool. Watch as they build a world where magic, dance, and spirits collide. Then on Saturday, that's tomorrow, our celebration of D&D, 50 years of D&D continues. This time our focus will be on AD&D 2nd edition with lead designer David Zeb Cook and players Steve Winter, Alex Kammer, Wolfgang Bauer, John Peterson, Bill Meinhardt, and Bruce Cordell. That's 10 a.m. tomorrow Pacific time. On Monday, we have Peter versus the Machine. That's me. I will be continuing my game of Sim Civilization 6 as Byzantium. I can't even say it. I'm playing on level 8. It's really hard. I don't know if I'm going to make it. We'll see what happens. Then at 6 p.m. Pacific time is Dress to Quest. On Tuesday, it's Vampire the Masquerade with Indie by Night at 7 p.m. On Wednesday, we have miniature painting with Path of the Brush at 4 p.m. Then Actoroki at 6 p.m. with me DMing Burning Ceratop for Lexi the First and Jesse Keeter. Thursday morning at 10 a.m., we have Blood on the Clock Tower. Then join us again at 5 p.m. for some Shadowrun with Roll with Rim Alternus. Then Friday, 2 p.m., you know what it is. It's back to here with Table Takes. Thank you to the Gen Con TV crew, Steve Connor, Sarah Moore, Danny Kennedy, Tanel Lovett. Thanks to my delightful co-host, Javion, Bonsai Baby, and the Noir Enigma. Thanks to our guest, Lila Ross, who just ran the gauntlet. And also thanks to all of you for watching and hanging out with us in chat. Remember, follow Gen Con TV for more of the best 4 days in gaming all year long on twitch.tv/GenConTV. And by follow, I mean, please click the follow button. Thank you. Goodbye. Have a great weekend.
Bye.